Dr. Amanda with StraightSmile Solutions, and today we're going to be talking about overlay or piggyback wires. And this is my terminology for these. Other people may call, you probably have heard piggyback wires used elsewhere. So I just want to explain how I use them and why I use them. So let's see, for example, on this patient. On this patient, some people would choose to bracket all the teeth, including this one, which is very palatalized, it's very displaced, and just throw a really light tie in. That's not my choice to do it that way, because what's going to happen is that, first of all, it's probably not even going to straighten because it's blocked out. But let's say there was space. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That means as we pull this tooth forward buccally, these teeth are going to collapse lingually. And if they're in a very flexible nice light tie, it's going to completely bow out and cause all kinds of discomfort and anesthetic and possible traumatic occlusion. So that's not the way I do it. What I do instead, if there's a very displaced tooth, is I go ahead and bracket every tooth but the displaced tooth, okay? And then I straighten every tooth but the displaced tooth, go up my wire sequence, my normal 14, 16, 17, 25 tie, and then I'll go to a very heavy tie, either a 1925 or some type of steel, and then I'll bracket this tooth, okay? Then I have my base wire, which is a heavy stabilizing wire on every tooth, and then a tiny segment of tie that goes to that tooth. Now I might have to run a spring here first to get some more space, or do some IPR to shimmy them around to get space. But then on these adjacent teeth, you'll end up having two wires. So this tooth will only have the tie, the light tie, and these teeth will have the stabilizing wire, almost like a retainer or something to brace it, and then also a section of the tie. So I don't know if that makes sense, but another way that some people may choose to do it, and this is like not wrong, but it's a similar idea, is that they may move their way up to a heavier, maybe not this wire right now, but let's say you got yourself into the heavy tie or a steel, and then they'll do something called a sling, which I call a sling, which is taking a piece of power chain and loop it to a button and loop it back out. That's totally fine too. It's basically the same thing. The difference is that when I do it with tie in a bracket, first of all, I don't have to take the button off later and replace it with a bracket. Second of all, the tie is always active and consistently active, whereas the sling technique with the power chain will lose its activity every couple of weeks, and so you constantly have to, reactivate it. So the force is more undulating, so up, down. So it actually ends up taking longer. Plus you have to pop the button off and put a bracket on. So for me, that takes longer. It might take you like an extra 5 minutes to do my technique, but it'll save you time in the long run. So here's kind of an example of how that might look. And I kind of drew it, but you can see this is another great case for that. I would have taken all the teeth but this one and maybe this one and worked my way up the wire sequence, leaving those alone. And you have to explain to the patient why you're doing it that way. But in the long run, once you get up there, 4 months later, then you can go ahead and you'll have your base wire and you'll have your tie, really light tie segmental wire. And these teeth adjacent, maybe 2 or 3 in each direction, will have a double wire. Put the heavier tooth in bracket wire in first, because it actually needs to engage the slots, and the light one is totally fine. You'll have no problem throwing a second wire up there. Only thing that can happen sometimes in these circumstances with the high canine is that as the tooth will come down, it'll bump into the wire. In that case, you're going to have to bend it out, make a step out. So, definitely take a look at it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's your piggyback technique. You can let it go 8 to 12 weeks, come back, the tooth's probably already down. If you want to expedite it, you can throw an elastic on it, make a nice little triangle here. And it's no problem doing that because you got the heavy wire stabilizing the rest of the teeth. So that's my technique. All right, thanks so much. We'll talk to you again soon with your next question. Bye-bye.